Very good. Okay, so we're doing page 16, the beginnings of democracy. Um, let's see. Diala, would you like to read the first part where it says beginnings of democracy? Would you like to read that?
Okay. Democratic institution developed gradually and peacefully. The first representative assembly was elected in Halifax, Nova Scotia in 1758. Prince Edward Island followed in 1773. New Brunswick in 1785. The Constitutional Act of 1791 divided the province of Quebec into Upper Canada, later Ontario, which was mainly Loyalist, Protestant, and English-speaking, and Lower Canada, later Quebec, heavily Catholic and French-speaking.
Good. Could you stop there? That's good. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So there will usually they will ask a question about this because this is an important. When did Canada start having democracy? When were we allowed to vote in government and things like that? So the very first representative assembly, that means the very first government that the people voted for was in Halifax in Nova Scotia in 1758. Yeah, so that's often a question because that's an important thing. And then Prince Edward Island in 1773, New Brunswick 1785. The other thing is the Constitutional Act. That word is very difficult. That's a very difficult word. Constitutional Act of 1790. Yeah. So what happened there was that everything used to be called the province of Quebec. Ontario and Quebec together used to be called the province of Quebec. And so then they changed it to Upper Canada and Lower Canada. And Upper Canada was Ontario and Lower Canada was Quebec. Yeah. So in 1791, those two provinces were born, I guess, in 1791, the Constitution. Very good. Okay, and then let's see, Manal, would you like to read the next part where it says the act? Would you like to read that part, please, Manal?
Okay. The art also granted to the Canadians
كندا صح.
but في اس
Canada's
for the first time legislative
Yeah.
assembles elected by the people. The name Canada also become official at this time and has been used ever since. The articles attendants
Colonies.
colonies
Yeah.
and the two Canadas were no collectively as French North America.
Very good, very good. Yeah, again, difficult
Thank you.
words.
Yeah.
Legislative assemblies. Those are big words. So it's funny because you were reading here, it said the act also granted to the Canadas. And you were thinking, what does that mean? Canadas means two Canadas. But that's what they did back then. They called Ontario was called Upper Canada, and then Quebec was called Lower Canada. So they weren't called Ontario and Quebec back then. So that's what it means by the two Canadas, Upper Canada and Lower Canada. Yeah. So this is the Constitutional Act of 1791. So what this did was make Upper Canada, Lower Canada. That's one thing. And then it said those two Canadas, Upper Canada, Lower Canada, they could have their own government. And then and it also made the name Canada the official name of the country. So those are the things. And then all of them together, the Atlantic colonies and the two Canadas were known as British North America. Yeah, so that's why this is an important thing they did in 1791, because they did many things that make Canada what it is today. They made Upper Canada, later Ontario, Lower Canada, Quebec. They said those provinces could have their own government. They named the name of Canada, became official. Everybody called it Canada. And then Upper Canada and Lower Canada and the Atlantic provinces, so Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, together, all those colonies, they weren't provinces back then, they were just colonies. All together, they were called British North America. Yeah, so that's a lot of things. So there will probably be a question from that information. So if you can try to remember some of that information. I know but the main thing is the Constitutional Act. So try to remember that, because there will clearly be questions about that on the test. That's very important. Okay, and then Rashid came. Hello, Rashid, how are you?
How are you, Chair? Hi.
Good. Okay, let's see. Now, Rashid, would you like to do this one? It says, I'm going to get Rashid to do this one, and then I'm going to get Zaniba to do this one. Rashid, would you like to do where it says abolition of slavery? First of all, before we start, Rashid, sorry, does anybody know what the word abolition means? Does anybody know what that word means?
I don't know, but
we don't use it very much in English, but it's an important word. When you abolish something, that means you end it, stop it. So abolition means the stopping or the ending of slavery. Yeah, so that's what abolition means. That's what abolition means. It means to stop something, to abolish it. But it means more than just to stop it. It means to completely stop it. It's kind of, you can stop doing something, but to abolish it means you stop it completely and never do it again. So it's usually for bad things. Usually you abolish bad things. That's what abolition means. Good. Okay. Can you read that part, please, Rashid?
Okay. Abolition of slavery. Slavery has existed all over the world, from Asia, Africa, and the Middle East to the Americas. The first movement of abolish the transatlantic slave trade emerged in the British Parliament in the late 1700s. In 1793, Upper Canada, led by Lieutenant Governor John Graves Simcoe, loyalist military officer, became the first province in the empire to move toward abolition. In 1807, the British Parliament prohibited the buying and selling of slaves, and in 1833 abolished slavery throughout the empire. Thousands of slaves escaped from the United States, followed the North Star, and settled in Canada via the Underground Railroad, a Christian anti-slavery network.
Very good. Yeah, this word here, I was waiting for you to read this word. I don't know if you can see on your screen. You see my marker there? Lieutenant. Yeah, not many people can read that properly. So that's very good. Lieutenant. Yeah, that's because when you look at that word, how would you say that? But it's said exactly like you said, Lieutenant Governor. Very good. Very good. Okay, so yeah, lots of information here, lots and lots of information here. So slavery was all over the world. And then, so they had slavery in all across the British Empire. When I say the British Empire, that means all the different countries of the world that Great Britain controlled. So there was many, 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 when you think of it, there was like Australia, New Zealand, and then places in Africa, many, many countries in Africa, and then Great Britain itself, England, and then Canada. So many, many places. India was another place. So there's many, many countries all over the world that Great Britain controlled. But in all those countries, in all those places all over the world, the very first place to stop slavery was in Ontario. Yeah, so that was in Upper Canada. That's pretty important. It's a pretty important thing, because in all over the world there was places where they had slavery, but the first place to stop it was in Ontario, and so they moved towards stopping it, the abolition of slavery in 1793. So that's a, slavery is obviously a terrible thing, but the fact that they stopped it here first in the world is a good thing, So it says in 1807, the British Parliament prohibited the buying and selling of slaves. So that means in 1807, the British government stopped slavery. And then in 1833, it stopped slavery throughout the British world. Yeah. Okay, so and then the other important thing here is thousands of slaves came to Canada from the United States, because Canada stopped slavery, but the United States didn't stop slavery. So thousands of Canadians, thousands of Americans, slaves came to Canada for freedom. And they went this thing called the Underground Railroad. When you think of a railroad, you think of a train, and a track, and that's a railroad. But this is called the Underground Railroad. So what they did was they got slaves in secret places, all the way from the south of the United States all the way up to Canada. And they would hide them in churches, usually, many churches, and they would hide the slaves, and then they would go in the night, go to the next church, and they would hide there, and they kept going and going until they came to Canada. And it was very, very dangerous, because if they were caught, the slaves would be returned back slaves, and the people helping them could go to jail or killed sometimes. So it was very dangerous, but people wanted to help the slaves. Good. Do we understand the ideas there? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope I'm not speaking too fast, but there's just a lot of information. I just want to show the pictures of the side here, because this is sometimes a question too. I don't know. Let's see if we can get the pictures on here. Just a second. You see the pictures on the bottom of your screen there? These two pictures here. This one here. Let's see. This one here is John Graves Simcoe. Yeah. And he was the first lieutenant governor. It says in the red at the side, you can see at your book there, it says, Lieutenant Colonel John Graves Simcoe was Upper Canada's first lieutenant governor and founder of the city of York. So he started Toronto. Yeah, so he was the first leader in Toronto, and he started Toronto. And he made Upper Canada the first province in the British Empire to abolish slavery. Yeah, and there's the places in Ontario named Simcoe. It's up by it's in the north. It's named after him, Simcoe. Okay, and then, so he started Toronto and he abolished slavery. And this picture here, I'll go down a bit here. This is sometimes a question. This picture here says, Mary Ann Shadd Carey. She was an outspoken activist in the movement to abolish slavery in the United States. In 1853, she became the first woman publisher in Canada, helping to found and edit the Provincial Freeman, a weekly newspaper dedicated to anti-slavery, Black immigration to Canada. So what she did, she was in Canada, and she was a woman, and what she did, she had a newspaper that helped give information for slaves to come to Canada and to for Black people to immigrate to Canada, and which was 1853. So she was a very strong woman because women didn't have many rights back then. So that's why they put her picture there, because she was a very, very strong woman helping people. Good. Okay. I hope I'm not going too fast, but let's see. Let's try some more here. I'm going to go back up here just a second, please. And then Zeniba, would you like to do this part here where it says a growing economy? I'm sorry, before you start, do you know can you tell me what the word economy means? Do you remember that word?
Yes, economy is like what with the country, the income, you know, economy is growing, sometimes going down, like what they call, economy is like budget.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that's very good. It's the budget and the income of the country. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good. Can you read that part, please?
Okay. And the first companies in Canada were formed during the French, the British regiments, and copied. For the four tried the Hudson-Bay Company with French, British, and Aboriginal employees come to dominate the trade in the northwest from Fort Garry, Winnipeg, and Fort Edmonton to Fort Farrell. This, oh my God, what I
you got to do it. That's right.
Yes, Langley near Vancouver and for Victoria. Trading passes that later become cities. Yeah, cities.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Everything was correct. Very good. Okay. Yeah, again, some difficult words. That's good. Yeah, it's good, but it's good. It's good what you do. You take your time and you sound it out, and then it's correct. So it's very good. Yeah, it's good to go slow because you're correct. So that's good. Okay, so this again, the first companies. So this is sometimes a question: when were the first companies in Canada formed or created? And it was during the French and British regimes. Yeah, that word regime, that means when it's a funny word. What it means is when one group of people control the country, or like a regime, they control everything. So the French controlled sometimes the French controlled everything, and sometimes the British controlled everything. So that's what it means, the French and British regimes, when the French and the British controlled Canada. And then the fur trade was what they were getting their money from. That was the most important thing to the economy, beavers. And then the Hudson Bay Company. So at this time, the Hudson Bay Company worked with the French, the British, and the Aboriginal people. They all worked together. and they dominated the trade. So that means they took control of the fur trade. So the Hudson Bay Company controlled the fur trade. And then what they did, they made places, trading posts. A trading post would be a place where you would have like a big building and it would be protected. Well, not a big building, but a building. And it would usually be near water because the Aboriginals would go in their canoes and they would bring beaver pelts to this trading post. And so they would bring the beaver pelts, and then the people working at the trading post would give them, they might give, I don't know, they might give them food. They might give them like flour or guns or things like they need to hunt with, or, you know, many things. So they would trade. So they would trade, they would give the people in the trading post beavers, beaver pelts, beaver skins, and then the people in the trading post would give them things that they wanted. So they were called, that's why they're called trading posts. And the interesting thing is these trading posts now are very big cities. Yeah, one was Fort Garry, so that's Winnipeg now. It started off as a trading post. And Edmonton is a city in Alberta. It started off as a trading post. And there's one near Vancouver, and then Victoria. Victoria is a city in British Columbia, and it started off as a trading post. So they're all, except Edmonton is not really near much water, but they're all near water usually. Yeah, good. Does everybody understand that part?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. And then Mohammed, are you here now?
No, Brian, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. Ghazala, do you want to read or no?
Okay, I trying.
Yeah, you try reading the last part. I think I give you the biggest words in the last
It's
part.
It's okay.
Yeah, you try the last part.
Okay. The first financial institution opening in the late 1830s and early 1930s countries, the Montreal Stock Exchange, exchange,
Yeah, good. Exchange, good.
yeah, opened in 1832 for countries. Canada's economy was beside mainly of on framing and on ex, ex, exporting.
Good.
Okay. Natural oh, recycles
Resources.
resources such of pure fish and timber transported by reds likes arrives and think
Yeah, canals.
canals.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, you got the hard one, I think. Okay, very good. First, financial institutions. What do you think a financial institution is?
Finance.
Do you think a financial institution is like a bank? It's a bank, really. And a financial institution is a bank or a place where a stock exchange, that's where you trade parts of companies for money. So that's what a financial institution is. It's the companies that control money. So they started in the late 18th century and the early 19th century. And then the Montreal Stock Exchange. The stock exchange is where you trade stocks, which are parts of companies. And that opened in 1832. And then it says for centuries, for many years, so for hundreds of years, Canada's economy, so the way people made money, was mostly farming. And then exporting. Exporting means to take what you have and take it and sell it to other countries away from your country. That's what exporting. Exporting natural resources such as fur, so beaver fur, fish, and timber. And timber is just wood. That's all timber is. It's just wood. It's just trees. That's just a fancy word for wood. And transported. So they moved all this thing. They moved the fur and the fish and the wood on roads, and lakes and rivers and canals. And a canal is just like a man-made river. That's a man-made river. Yeah. So that's what they're talking about there. Okay, let's try to do some questions if we can. Let's just see what time we can. Okay, good. That's good. Let's try to do some questions. So what we're going to do, we're going to do about 8 questions, and then we'll reload the questions and we'll do some more. Okay. So who would like to, let's see, Diala, I guess you started. Would you like to do this question, Diala?
Okay. When was the first representative assembly in Canada elected? In 1758. 1758.
Yeah, very good. 1758. Good. And then who did the next part? Manal, would you like to do this one?
Okay, where was the first Representative Assembly activity?
Yeah, first representative assembly elected. So the first government elected in Canada.
Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia.
Very good.
First,
Very good. Nova Scotia. Good. And then let's see. Rashid, would you like to do this one?
Okay. Which act granted to the Canadas for the first time legislative assembly? Okay, freedom act. It's the constitutional act.
Yeah, very constitutional act. Very good. And then let's see. Zaniba, would you like to do this one?
Yes. When was the Constitution Act passed? When is passed? Oh. This is like when Constitution is passing. Is that 90? Oh. Hold on. I didn't really.
Oh, you didn't do this part?
Number 4.
Yeah, you can ask for help if you want. Do you want help?
Constitution
Wow, for
17, 19, 91 divided. Yes, I was looking the book you reading.
Take your time. It's okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yay, 1791. Very good. Very good.
Yeah,
Good. And then let's see. Gazala, would you like to do this one?
yeah. Which centered provinces come out from the consensual. What this is, teacher?
Yeah, the Constitutional Act. So which current
Constitutional
provinces?
Act. Yeah. Okay.
Remember we said there were two that they came out of that. The two.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Mm, okay. I think I'm not sure for Ontario and Prince Edward also.
Prince Edward Island.
I'm not sure. I think number 4 or number 2. I don't sure.
You want to ask for help?
I don't sure, teacher.
You want
Give
to?
me 1 second. I need.
Okay. Okay, let's try. So you think so number 4 or number 2, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just let's try to help you remember. Remember I said there was two
And
Upper Canada and Lower Canada. And
Yeah,
then,
number 3.
yes. So it's, what do you,
and Vancouver.
Ontario
okay.
and Quebec.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah. Number 3.
Yeah, let's try number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Good. Okay. And then, Diallo, would you like to do this one?
Canada become official.
Okay. When did the name Canada become official? Oh. In 1791?
Yeah, very good. That was also part of that constitutional act.
Yeah.
Very good. And then, let's see, where do we go now? So this is back to Manal, I think.
Okay. What was known as British North America in 1790? I think 4. The 2.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. That's
My
okay.
God.
So it's the two Canadas,
Oh,
upper
yeah.
and lower, and the Atlantic provinces, so like
Yeah.
Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island. Yeah,
Yeah. Number 1.
yeah. So it's number
Number
1.
1.
So the Atlantic provinces, colonies, and the two Canadas. That was
Yeah.
good. Okay. And then, okay, this is the same question, different way to say it. This is for Rashida, yes, please.
Okay, what were the Atlantic colonies and the two Canadians known collectively as in 1971? Okay. Is it British North America?
Very good. So the Atlantic colonies and the two Canadas, upper and lower Canada, known as British North America. Good. Then let's see. This one is Zenibada.
Okay.
Lots of reading.
Okay. Who was Lieutenant? This is even, I don't know meaning.
Lieutenant, yeah, Lieutenant Colonel John Graves Simcoe. Who was Lieutenant Colonel John Graves Simcoe? Who was he?
Who is John? Okay, John is Upper Canadian First Governor and founding of the city of Toronto. The first television government founded the city of Toronto. All questions look like the same. The cities of the and founded of the. Okay. I will say is the one the first one. That's the one upper. That's the one I take.
Very good, very good. Upper Canada's first lieutenant governor and founder of the city of Toronto. Very good. So he was Ontario's first leader, and he started Toronto too. Yeah, John Graves Simcoe. Good, very good. And then this one is for Gazella, I think. Is that right? Yeah, I think Gazella.
Whom would you pair Canada, the first provinces in the British Empire to abolish slavery? Okay, the first. Okay. Here. Mm. Okay. Mm. John Brand. Mm. Mhm.
I'll give you a hint. It's not number 4 because he was our first prime minister.
Yeah, no, not number
Not
four.
him.
Three.
Number one, teacher?
Number 3.
3.
Three.
Yeah.
Graph.
Okay, yes, number 3, teacher.
Okay,
General
number
Assembly. Yeah.
Lieutenant Colonel John Graves Simcoe. Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah, very good. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm just going to pause for just a minute. There
Which British Empire province was the first to abolish slavery? Abir Canada.
Upper.
Number 1.
Very good. Upper Canada. Very good. Good. Okay, and then this was this one is for Manal. It might be difficult, but remember this is the one, her picture. This is her picture. Remember we talked about her? It shows her picture in the bottom of the page. That's what they're talking about there.
Who was Mary Ann Crazy?
Yeah, that's the one with her picture.
First woman who. Okay, one second.
Nen.
2 ما عم طلعش. Two, teacher.
Oh, good, great. 2, anti-slavery activist, first woman publisher in Canada. Very good, number 2, good. And then, Rashid, would you like to do this one, please?
Okay. When did the British Parliament abolish slavery throughout the empire? It was 1807.
Very good. Let me just move that up again. 1807, good. Oh,
No, number 1.
1833.
Ah,
Yeah, 1833.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. This is, in 1807, they said you couldn't sell slaves, but in 1833, yeah, so I got that one wrong too, Rashid, don't worry about it.
okay.
So 1833, very good. Okay. Okay, and then this one is for Zaniba, please.
First company. When is the farm? Is it during the French? And yes, during the French is the number 1.
Num-
And
4.
the British, no, it's the last one because British, yeah, regiments. The last one.
Oh, the last one? Okay. During the
British.
French and British regimes. Yeah, very good. Good. And then this one is for Ghazala again, please.
Okay. For what did the first companies in Canada completed?
Compete. Yeah. So what did they
Complete. Okay.
compete for?
Yeah. Okay. Number 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. Very good. Fur trade. Very good. And then this one is for I think Diala again, please.
Who dominated the fur trade in the Northwest during the French and British regimes?
Marwan.
The Hudson Bay Company,
Good. And then this one is for Manal, please. And you're muted, Manal. I don't know if you know that.
I'm read, teacher, but I'm forgot.
Okay, no, there's no problem. No problem. You could ask. You could if you forget, you can ask for help. Other people
Yeah.
might.
I forgot the mute.
Oh, you forgot the mute. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I
But
do
I'm
that.
read already.
I do that too.
Yeah. The last one?
no,
Latin.
Latin.
Oh, which one?
Yeah.
You want to,
The 3.
number 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3. Okay. Yeah, very good. 18th and early 19th. Very good. Okay, and then this one is for where are we now? Rashid again, please. And you're muted too, Rashid. I don't know if you know that.
For centuries, on what was Canada's economy based on? Yeah, it's farming and exporting natural resources. Exploring natural resources, okay, trading with the First Nations.
Name.
It's farming and exporting natural resources.
Very good. Very good. Okay, and that's the end. That's excellent. We just